In this video, we're going to explore Objective 1.2.c, which is called Setting Grid, Units, and Snaps. So right now, we're just going to start off in an untitled design file. And in order to set up, a lot of times, drawing grids or units and snaps, first off, let's go ahead and set our units. So our document settings live over here in the browser. And if I expand, I can see that my units are set to inches, and if I select the Change Active Units button over here on the right side of the screen, I can select the various units that I would want to use maybe to draw something. So if I wanted to go to millimeters, I could set it as a default and I could select OK. For this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I'm set to inches, and since this is already set as my default, I'm just going to click cancel. But if yours is not, or if you're changing it to a different unit, you would select OK. So that is setting units to make sure that you have the right kind of unit for whatever particular design you're creating. And it's a good habit to make sure to check your units before you start doing any drawing or anything, because if you change units, it will kind of mess with some of your sketch elements later. So down here at the bottom will be now setting up grids and snaps. So when I select this, I can also show there's a layout grid by default that will show here on the screen. I usually turn this off, but it's up to you whether or not you want to keep this on your screen. And we can set up our grid settings. So our grid settings, right now we can select an adaptive grid that has the reference numbers. It depends on how large you're drawing some items and everything. If you'd like to have a fixed grid, which is usually what I keep with, I have a major grid spacing set to 1 inch and the minor subdivisions set to 2. So as well as having reference numbers to be displayed on our grid. So let me go ahead and select OK. I'm going to go up here to create sketch, and I'm going to select one of the principal work planes. So what this is looking at here is that right now is you can see my major divisions are every inch. And if I choose the line tool and start off the origin, you're going to see here that my increments, that you kind of notice this snap that happens, or if I go up this direction, it kind of snaps like here and it goes to 0.5. And that's because I'm taking that 1 inch and I'm dividing it in half. So that gives me that ½ inch. It kind of snaps at every single little ½ inch increment. And I can set this to a 1/4 of an inch increment or whatever that may be. Now I can draw a little bit less than that, but that's kind of how my snaps are working. So, and that's something that we can utilize. So, and my snap is turned on here in the sketch palette. I can also have the snap to grid option selected as well. And with that, and also in the grid settings, you can see any or make any adjustments to what you have as well. So it just depends on what kind of settings you'd like to set up. And if I don't want to have the snap option on, then I can always draw, and you're going to notice that it doesn't snap to those different increments on the grid. So it just depends on what kind of settings you want to set up for your drawings and what kind of functionality works best for you with setting up grid, units, and snaps for your drawing and the various projects that you're working on. This finishes up Objective 1.2.c, and continue to watch more videos to get prepared for the Fusion ACU exam.